What am I gonna say? I got a little blooper. Sorry about that. And welcome to the return of my show called Wrestling News. And my friend, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, ladies and germs out there. My name is Connor, of course, also known as OK Fave. Here with my good friend Rai Rai, the Wrestling News Podcast.
Yes. I don't know what episode this is because it's been a while since I've done this. Okay, first thing on the agenda is, let's see here. What am I gonna discuss here? Thinking about this. We discussed this off podcast about this. We can make this short and sweet about a Lesnar thing about his current contract. Go ahead, you kick it off first, and then I will jump on board.
Alright, so we were basically discussing how whether or not either of us feels that Lesnar is being off TV as the champion is a good or a bad thing. The only reason I see it as a positive note is the fact that, and I've said this before in other of my videos on my channel and stuff like that too, is the fact that when you put the belt on Lesnar, obviously Lesnar has his part-time schedule that we're pretty much aware of at this point in time. So what it does is that it forces WWE to put someone or something else in the main event, the main focus, the main storyline that's not centered or around or involved with the championship. And as we can see from lately, that is obviously Seth Rollins and Dean Ambrose being interjected into the main event picture. And that's the main reason why I think Lesnar being kept off TV. Because back in the day, back in the 60s and 70s, you very rarely saw the wrestling world champion in person defending the title, let alone on TV. So it kind of gives me that old nostalgic feeling of seeing, like, when the champion shows up and the champion's around, it's a big effing deal. And I kind of like that aspect, and it kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Yes, and I remember back in the early '90s when Hogan was a champion, he never ever defended on the regular TV, only on pay-per-view. Wise, you know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but hell, even back in like the Madison Square Garden days, you would only see the champion once, maybe twice a month,
Yeah.
and not every time he would be defending the title. It's kind of funny. If you go back and look at the history of everything, a lot of the times that people had these long title reigns, and I'm not talking like the 80s, I'm talking like 70s or 60s, the reason that you had a lot of long championship reigns, for the most part, and I'm being very vague here, is the fact that they didn't defend their titles as often as you'd think.
Yeah.
Nowadays we see a championship match, on average about once a month,
Yep.
in terms of a major world championship. Nowadays, or back in the day, you maybe saw the World Heavyweight Championship defended maybe 3 times a year, maybe 4. It was a big deal. And that's one of the things I miss about wrestling is the hype of the importance of what you're witnessing and observing and seeing.
Yes. Other news this past Friday, The Rock and Triple H had an awesome promo backstage or a segment, and there's like a tease. Maybe this might happen at WrestleMania 31 between The Rock and Triple H. Now, I made a video on it recently. I'm not too sure if you've seen it. If you have not seen my viewers, the link will be down below. So, what's your thoughts? Would you like to see a one-on-one match finally at WrestleMania?
I wouldn't mind seeing a rematch between the two of them. I think it would be the best use of the two of them because um, you've got the history there. The two of them could. We've obviously seen Rock back in the ring, so we know that as far as an in-ring match, it would be very, very good.
Oh, yeah.
It would be a nice little kind of nostalgic feeling of going back to the Attitude Era a little bit between seeing the two of them. However, as much as I'd love to see The Rock and Triple H, I think that one other person, and only one other person, could fill that spot of The Rock's and do it 10 times better, 10 times funnier, and draw in a lot more money.
Austin, right?
Yes.
Hey, I tell you what, make a triple threat match then. No?
No. It's got to be one-on-one. What I would do is, in case some of you guys may or may not have heard, there was rumor, in fact, Austin, I think, has even confirmed this, that he is training currently for an in-ring return to WWE of some kind.
That's what I heard.
Now, a lot of people think it's the Rumble, a lot of people think it's a match at Mania. The rumors are flying over. But if you're gonna do anything, why not do an Austin Triple H match? Austin's best moments and time was known when he was fighting against Mr. McMahon, back then the Authority. Why not somewhat give it a recreation a little bit, or nod to the Attitude Era and do it that way?
Yeah.
Would it PG and be kind of watered down from the Attitude Era stuff? Of course. Would it not be as good as the Attitude Era stuff? Of course. But in my humble opinion, it would be a little bit more a good deal entertaining more than The Rock. Not saying Rock couldn't do it as well too, because Rock's done it in the past as well, but Austin kind of had his special little charm to it, and I just personally, I would like to see Austin do it more than The Rock if it was anybody else.
Yeah, but do you think the WWE let him doing the middle fingers and all that stuff? They should let him do it. Let that slide for WrestleMania, for crying out loud. You know what I'm saying?
That's a good question. I don't know if they would let Austin do it. I think they'd still let him do the beer drinking and everything else. I think you'd see it on Raw. I think you'd see it happen every now and then.
Yeah, but we'll find out what happens. Now, if Austin does not wrestle at 31, maybe he could wrestle at 32, because they'll be in Dallas, Texas, and that's not too far from his hometown, you know?
Well, WrestleMania 31 this year is in San Diego, California.
Yeah, I know that one, but 32 is in Dallas.
I wouldn't put it past them. I'm actually kind of surprised they're going back to Dallas so late. I thought they'd go back to Texas sooner.
Really?
But yeah, because they haven't been in Texas for Mania since 25.
Yeah, and they haven't been to Chicago since 06, so Chicago's overdue also, you know?
Yeah, but and the problem is finding venues big enough now.
That's true.
Because Vince only does stadium shows now for WrestleMania.
Yeah, for my opinion, it's gonna bite McMahon's in his ass, from my point of view, because there's not many big stadiums out there until the new ones come out, and that sucks, you know.
No, but at the same time, though, they sell out and they look better. Like you can if you were to take away the WrestleMania logo and the fact it says it all over the place, and physically look at the difference between a normal pay-per-view versus WrestleMania, it is quite visibly different for numerous reasons in terms of people, crowd, look, feel, everything about it. And if what he was aiming for was to create that big-time feel at WrestleManias, he certainly succeeded by making that move.
Yeah, okay. Other thing is, I guess Russo is going to face Big Show. We all know that's going to happen on Monday. And then, of course, he's probably going to beat him. And then eventually he's going to face Sheamus for the U.S. belt. What's your thoughts on that? If he's going to face Sheamus for the belt, do you think that's going to be a great move?
Yes, I think he should win the belt.
Yeah,
for a couple of reasons.
Wait, hold on. Because Sheamus is not using the belt at all, you know?
WWE hasn't been using the belt. They haven't been using the belt for like almost a year.
That's true, yeah.
Dean Ambrose, and I love Dean, don't get me wrong. Dean Ambrose held the belt for almost a full year and defended it twice.
Yeah,
twice.
That's not his fault. It's the creator, so it don't matter who's the champion. It don't matter who's the champion.
That's my point.
Yeah.
And here's the thing: if you're going to use the U.S. title in any way, shape, or form, considering the fact it's not really much of an important championship now in the eyes of many wrestling fans, you might as well use it to be a heater for a monster heel that you're pushing. At least in that context, it's being used for fucking something.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the U.S. Championship is one of my favorite championships of all time, in terms of look, design, history, all that stuff. And it's a big thorn in my side to see them not really utilize it well. So at the very least, this would be a phenomenal way to just get a bunch of heat. Oh, look, we prove to you how much Soviet Russia is superior over your feeble Americans. Look, he holds your U.S. championship. It does not matter to us. There's so much you could do with that.
You know, I like your accent. Awesome accent.
Thanks you. You could. I've been watching them too much. You could use that for a while before it got stale. There's a ton of things you can do. Oh, Rusev goes to Washington, D.C. and show what true Americans should be more like. The great, I lay this on the desk of the great Vladimir Putin. Like, there's so many things you can do to create so much heat. And here's the thing, too. the angle already, and I said this on my Raw reviews, the angle is already saturated in controversy. Big Show had to apologize for ripping down the Russian flag. They said something after a Russian controversy with like a jet or something a couple months ago. The angle is already like, has already been, in my opinion, the angle has been pretty well succeeding for quite a while, and this would just be an icing on the cake at this point. Give Sheamus the opportunity to go back to the main event picture, shake things up a little bit there, because I feel like he's just been kind of plateauing, and maybe bumping him back up to the world title picture wouldn't be a bad thing, at least to kind of shake things up. And you give the belt a purpose.
Yes.
You could have Sheamus defend the Here's another thing you could do. For like 2 months straight, you can have Rusev defend the U.S. Championship every week on Raw and just kill people again.
Yeah, dominate, yeah. And it would be kind of cool if, you know how back in the day of WCW, when Hogan, or Hollywood Hulk Hogan, had the world belt, and he renamed it NWO, what can Russo do with it for that belt and just have the the Russian belt? That'd be kind of sweet, huh? Or no?
Actually, that's not a bad idea at all, because Lance Storm did that with the U.S. title in WCW. He renamed it the Canadian Championship.
Yeah, but how long did that last? How long did it went over? Good or no?
I think it could have lasted a lot. Well, I think it lasted literally less than a month,
yeah.
Which is BS. I think that, especially with the ability of Lance Storm, you could have carried that for quite a while. And that's the thing, you could utilize that the right way, and then really drive home the American. Because, like I said, the angle is already going over so well. What could possibly generate more heat than having a Russian person who constantly badmouths America being the United States champion?
Let me ask you a question. Sorry to cut you off. Are you a fan of John Morrison back in the day of WWE?
In-ring skill, yes. Mic skill, no.
Yeah, but and his DVD was not the best because WWE like to push these DVDs. He wasn't even ready for a damn DVD yet. You know what I'm saying?
No, nothing against Morrison. I like him. I thought he was a very talented performer in the ring, and I thought his character was pretty decent. His mic skills were a little bit more to be desired. Yeah. But yeah, I felt like WWE put out a DVD of him way too quick.
Yes.
It's nothing against him. It's just that he hadn't reached that level of
main event status
or memorable status.
Well, the only remember, I think like he did a Elimination Chamber, like a Spider-Man kind of thing, and
yeah, he was great at some amazing aerial feats and stuff like that. I mean, the only real major rivalry he had was against The Miz.
Yeah, and Sheamus too.
Kind of, but the one that really stands out more to me is the one with Miz.
Yeah.
Because they had it was what, 2011. They had the first match in 2011.
On Raw. That match should have been on Rumble, not the Raw, but whatever. It's what it is,
Yeah, but they pretty much kind of rushed that one for sure.
Yes. Now, do you think Morrison will come back, or is he done with the WWE?
I wouldn't put it past him if he made a return. I think the circumstances would have to be right. I'd love to see him back. I think what I would do with him is I would team him with somebody again.
Yes. What do you think? A young guy or just a veteran again?
No, I would probably do a young guy because I think that he would have to kind of regain his self-confidence and his worth back and all that stuff. I would turn him heel though. As much as he is a babyface, I would much rather enjoy because it's easier to be a heel.
Yeah, he was great back in the day when they what was his old name before John Morrison?
Johnny Nitro.
Yeah, I love that gimmick. Holy crap, that was awesome, classic.
Nitro, Mercury, Melina, Eminem.
Yes, that was a great group. And I wish they were still together, but it's what it is. What it is.
You know why it was a great group?
Why?
It was the last group in WWE to be produced by the Dudleys.
Really?
Yeah. I was watching a shoot interview years ago with Bubba Ray and Devon, a very good one by RF Video, phenomenal shoot series they do. And Bubba and Devon said before they left, they went to OVW to help train guys and help create tag teams because there were not that many tag teams. He goes, and one of the last big things we did for them was we made Eminem.
Oh, So so the Dudley Boys were still part of the WWE or what at the time?
They were up until 2005.
Okay, now you know. Okay, man, that was a great group. Now we all know that Mercury is part of the Triple H's group now, right? Right?
Yeah, he's a producer.
Yeah, and then he's like the I don't know, but yeah, I wish they bring that back. They didn't last that group the group that long, did they? The stable, huh?
I think Eminem lasted like almost a year and a half. No, yeah, a little over a year maybe.
Then I really thought that Melina won't be a good female wrestler, but she surprised us. She's pretty damn good
Yes, she was.
and sexy. I don't give a shit what anybody says, but man, she's hot. Woo!
No, I hands down agree. Hands down.
But what else I want to say? I heard they're gonna make a Jerry the King Lawler finally. What's your thoughts on that?
I can't wait.
Hopefully they do it correctly. If they do it correct, hopefully they don't f it
Oh,
up.
they will. I'm sure they will. If WWE is smart, one of the things they've definitely been doing great lately is their DVDs, like the CM Punk DVD.
Oh, that was awesome.
The Heyman DVD was.
Austin was good. The Rock was good recently. Oh, holy shit!
So if they got influence from the King, like he had his hand involved in making it, sky's the limit. I think that was going to be a really good one, and I think that a lot of fans don't know about the Memphis wrestling, and I think that would be a fantastic educational thing for a lot of wrestling fans.
Yeah. Another thing is, do you have? I don't know if I mentioned this with you before. Last time we did this, do you have the W Network?
Yes.
Do you like the price?
Yeah.
Do you think they're way overdoing it with the commercial of $9.99 or what?
No,
Okay.
because we see commercials for things all the time.
Yes, that's true. Yeah. Do you think do you think it's gonna
And-
stay like this $9.99, or do you think eventually it's gonna change the
No,
price?
I think it's going to stay $9.99 for a while because
Really?
WWE's. All right, so here's the thing. When they announced the network, they basically did out the math and said, okay, in order for us to, if we're going to do this, we need to get X amount of subscribers in order to make up for the pay-per-view revenue. So they said, okay, obviously we're going to stop carrying pay-per-views in major areas, in these areas.
Yep.
We're going to do it from the network. So in order to do it from the network, to compensate for the fact that we won't be getting money off of these pay-per-view companies like the cables and the satellite providers, we need to get X amount of subscribers in order to balance it out. And they're not anywhere close. I shouldn't say that. I think, and I could be wrong here, people can look me up and misquote me and correct me if I'm wrong. I believe the number they need to get was 1.5 million.
Did they get it?
No, the last meeting they had, I believe they were rounding up to 700,000.
Okay, hold that thought. So you're trying to say DirecTV, Dish Network, all those people just dropped out because the W Network, correct?
Think about it. If you can't beat that deal. Like,
No, you can't.
I'm not saying it to plug the network.
Yeah.
Legitimately, if you break down the mathematics of it, especially for someone like me who is a historian and a wrestling fan from like generations,
Yeah.
you get access to most of their, I shouldn't say most, a good chunk of their video library, past Raws, SmackDowns, ECWs, Nitros now.
Yes.
Plus you get every pay-per-view streamed live.
For how much?
$9.99.
Yeah, that's not bad.
And one pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's not bad at all. Yeah.
One pay-per-view through these cable or satellite providers is almost $50 now.
Yeah, oh god, Jesus Christ. Especially if you want to get an HD, it's more money.
Right. So are you going to pay $60 for one pay-per-view, or are you going to pay $60 for 6?
Yeah. Don't you think they should do like a new package like for $9.99 the whole damn year instead of 6 months? You know what I'm saying?
No.
I know that's kind of on the edge or taking a big steep, but why don't go in that direction? Did W want to take that kind of risk or what?
Wait, in terms of what?
Like instead of doing 6 months, every 6 months you gotta renew it. What they can do like,
Well, they do. You can get the you can do $9.99 for
Okay.
a 6-month subscription, or you can do it monthly for
Oh.
$12.99.
Oh, okay, got it. Okay,
You know what I mean? And again, it's just kind of like no brainer.
okay. Yeah, this is a great thing. Can you imagine if they did this for the back in the day of the Attitude Era? That'd be great, but there's no such thing of the internet. You know what I'm saying?
Exactly. Well, not just that too. You wouldn't have access to all the libraries.
Yeah, and plus you don't have the great quality like they do now.
Yep. I feel like I'm living a WWE Network commercial. This is fantastic.
Sorry, I just want to discuss
No,
that.
I'm just playing around.
I remember back in the day, Michael Cole used to plug the app. Now he's plugging the network. So go figure, huh?
Yeah, I know, right?
I wonder how he feels when McMahon says it in his headphones. Michael Cole, you gotta do this. I know he gets really frustrated when he's done with his job. So damn it, he gets mad. I know he does.
Here's the thing with Vince. If you think about this, right? And I'm not saying this to kiss his ass. It's legitimate. Vince McMahon, you got to really take the time to sit back and look back and think bigger picture here. It's 2014, okay? 40 years ago, right? 1974. Nothing like this was available on any level.
Nope.
So over the course of 40 years, maybe a little less than that, but 40 years, Vince turned a regional wrestling promotion, okay, and you know how they were back then, and turned it into this. Whether you can say that's a positive or a negative thing, you have to at least admire the man and respect the man and take the time to appreciate the fact that he busted his ass on every level, because he's a fucking workaholic.
Oh, God, yeah.
To create this, and I'm not saying this in a negative sense, an empire, a wrestling empire. Wrestling is mainstream now, but mostly because of him. I say mostly, there's other factors, but still. And he's done that being very, very specific and knows what he wants and what his vision and his goal is. It's his company. So of course he's going to nitpick the commentary, because the commentary can really... The commentary, and I didn't realize this until watching a couple of old NXT episodes, but a commentary for a show, for a wrestling program, can make or break it. It really can.
Oh, yeah. Do you think Michael Cole is getting better, or no?
A lot of people shit on Cole because of... He's not JR.
Yeah, of course. JR, that's the Ed. He's, that's... People gotta get over... I mean, I love JR. He's a great spoker, and Michael Cole can't... I don't think he could cut it, but I guess he's doing... I don't know. I guess everyone have their own opinion about Michael Cole, So what's your thoughts on Michael Cole?
They also give him shit for the WrestleMania 27 thing with Lawler.
Oh, yeah, that was... He shouldn't have been on the damn card,
Yeah, I mean... So, I think Cole's okay, because, it's like, I'm sorry, I'm stuttering, but it's funny because a lot of people compare Cole to JR in the same way that a lot of people compare modern wrestling to the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Folks, I hate to break it to you, nothing will be able to beat that. It can't.
Nope.
You can't compare. You can't use that as a measuring stick. It's impossible, because it was too good. JR did more than just call a match. He was able to invoke an emotion out of you from sitting at home like nothing else.
Oh yeah.
I was watching the Jeff Hardy DVD, and they recapped when Jeff fought Undertaker for the Undisputed title in 2002 in the ladder match.
Oh yeah, that was great.
And there was a line that JR said that really kind of, it sucked me in. I even remember the match, watching it when it was live. I'm watching this literally 2 days ago, and it invoked that same emotion. He was yelling at the top of his lungs, "Come on, kid, make yourself famous!" And it was just the way he said it,
oh, yeah.
the tone, everything, the crowd. He was able to suck you in and do that. Now, Cole doesn't do that, and that's not Cole's specialty, and now Cole's not even to the point where he's trying to, really... He's more of the observing, kind of call it down the middle, but still kind of let you know about the story. He's trying.
Yeah.
And he's trying not to be JR, but he's trying to be himself. And I think, given the circumstances and the position he is in, I think Cole is doing a pretty darn good job. Is he JR?
No.
No. Is he the best commentator in the world? No. But I think Cole has kind of fallen. I'm trying to think of the best way to phrase this. He's doing the best with what he knows, and he can do he's doing the best he can as himself and with his abilities, I guess is the best phrase.
Do you think Michael Cole will be here until he retires, or do you think that we will release him, in the future,
No.
to save money-wise again?
No, Cole puts up with McMahon's shit too much.
Do you think Michael Cole is a suck-up?
No. That's not what I mean.
Okay.
I'm saying is that he can take a Vince McMahon berating verbally on the commentary skill than anybody else can.
Do you think JBL is pretty good talking, or no?
I think. I seriously believe that when they go over commentating for Raw, they give script or transcript to Cole. They give one to Lawler, but they do not give one to JBL.
Why is that?
Because he is not following a damn thing.
Oh.
Really, listen to him. Listen to him on Raw, and he's just having the time of his life.
So I guess they don't. I'm surprised. Do you think McMahon yells at JBL, or not really? They don't care?
I think he's hilarious. And the funny thing is, JBL reminds me of Jerry Lawler during the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
A lot. He's the heel. He's the arrogant, annoying,
announcer,
but still goddamn funny commentator. That was Lawler during the Attitude Era.
So actually, they're doing this on purpose for JBL, then, huh?
What's that?
They're doing this to JBL on purpose.
I hope so.
Is he a heel? You don't seem like he's a heel because a lot of fans love him.
He's tweener.
Yeah,
because there's moments he'll praise the baby face, and there's moments he'll praise the heel.
Do you think there's a possibility he might come back to the ring, or is he done with that department?
I think he's moved on. Okay. I think he looks in much better shape than he left.
Okay, yeah.
But I think that JBL is a very smart man, a very tough man, and a smart man. And he's smart enough to realize that he needs to extend his outlook beyond the wrestling ring. Granted that he's had much success in wrestling, but he's smart enough to know he shouldn't put all his eggs in one basket. That's why he has the stock portfolio. That's why he has the financial advice. That's why he does all these great expeditions. He's a very, very, very smart man. And he's smart enough to know that he's keeping himself involved in wrestling as the commentator without getting physically involved. And he has the knowledge base and the intelligence to pass on his wisdom and his entertainment skills and his humor, but at the same time, keep a fair enough distance away from wrestling where he's not like exposing himself like that, or what's the phrase I'm looking for? Opening him vulnerable to injury, I guess is the best way.
Okay, let's switch gears. And I know this is only October, my viewers. Let's discuss about the Royal Rumble. Do you think any big surprises or returns coming up? I know a lot of guys are going to come back from the injury, but do you think any huge surprises that will not ruin the internet? You know how the internet likes to ruin the wrestling world. But when The Rock came back recently, I was shocked, and I'm kind of glad that the wrestling world on Twitter did not ruin it for people who, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's almost impossible to keep a secret now.
Yeah, I know. So, do you think something big's gonna happen in the Rumble, or do you think it's gonna be average Rumble? I know they're gonna. The rumor is, or it's confirmed that Triple H says instead of 30, it's gonna go 40. So, before we discuss that, answer my question. Any big surprises? Any big returns you think?
Well, the two big ones that pop into my mind, of course, are Roman Reigns and Daniel Bryan.
Okay.
I'd be surprised if either of those two, or both, would be in the Rumble this year, because one of the things about the Rumble is the surprise factor. I would also not be surprised if you saw a couple of old ECW personas sneak their way into the Rumble for two reasons. One, it's 40 men, and two, they're in Philly.
Yeah.
Royal Rumble. So that's kind of it. I wouldn't be surprised if you saw a legend pop in every now and then.
Yeah.
Maybe a hacksaw Jim Duggan.
Yeah. Do you think some NXT guys should be in there?
Yes, I think at least 2 or 3.
Do you think it should be better than the 2011 one, or does it really matter?
I think it should be 3 of their top. I think it should be like if they were to do it right now.
Yeah.
Tyler Breeze, Adrian Neville, and Sami Zayn.
But do you like the 2011 Rumble or the first ever 40 Rumble?
I was there for it.
Oh really? How was the experience?
Like I said, everything's better live.
Yeah, of course.
I think 40 men. It's intriguing because you kind of scratch your head over who they're going to throw in.
Yeah.
Because there's 10 extra spots and the possibilities are a little endless. So there's that factor to it. Other than that, though, it wasn't any different from the 2003 one I went to.
Yeah. Do you think they should keep tradition, or do you think once in a while they should do the 40 Rumble?
I wouldn't mind every now and then seeing the 40.
Yeah, don't do it every year because it'd be worn down, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And plus, do it if you're going to fill in those 10 spots right.
Yes. It's the same for the Elimination Chamber. It's getting watered down completely because you can't see no blood, you know.
Well, not just that. That starts into a whole different conversation of the gimmick pay-per-views, which
Yes.
I am not a fan of.
At first, it didn't bother me. Now it's like all watered down and whatever. But
It takes away from the importance of the match.
yes.
Because if you have pay-per-views named TLC and Hell in the Cell and Elimination Chamber,
Actually, TLC is not that bad, I don't think, from my opinion.
but it takes away from the importance of that match.
Yeah.
Because, oh, gee, I wonder what's going to be the main of...
Main event?
No, sorry, I blanked out. Gee, I wonder what's going to be the main event of the pay-per-view called Hell in the Cell. I wonder what it could be.
Yeah.
And the fact that it's every year, just kind of think, it's like, oh, okay, October, where they're going to do a Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah.
It's kind of...
They gotta get rid of the Hell in a Cell gimmick. Come on now, W.
I want them to get rid of the pay-per-view, not the match.
So you trying to say instead of Hell in a Cell, you want a different name for it, correct?
Yes.
If you were creators right now, what names would we have instead of Hell in a Cell, Elimination Chamber, or whatever?
Bring back the old pay-per-view names. Bring back No Mercy. Bring back
Unforgiven.
Unforgiven. Bring back what do you call it? Crap.
Backlash.
Yes. Bring back the old pay-per-view names. Do Backlash. Do Judgment Day. Do
Vengeance again. See?
What's that?
Vengeance.
Do I don't know if Armageddon would still be okay, but bring that one if you want to.
They had No Way Out before then they got rid of it again.
Yep, do No Way Out. Bring back some of these old pay-per-view names. They were fantastic. Fully Loaded, I wouldn't mind.
Yeah, but it's different eras, and probably some of these younger whippersnappers don't even remember that shit, you know?
You young whippersnappers don't appreciate back in my day.
Yeah.
Austin flipped me the bird every single week, and I was damn happy for it.
Yeah, and I love Total Divas. You watch that or no?
Excuse me. Maybe they on there. Yes, I do. I don't watch it as religiously as I'd like to, but yes, I do watch it.
And I heard it's TV-14. That is bullshit because that's not fair.
Well, because it's real life. It's hard to censor real life.
Yeah, but isn't that all script? That's like 6 months in advance they tape that shit. So how can they, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know. It's... Yeah.
If they were smart, they should do like they do in really reality shows. Tape it. I don't know how they do it in other shows because I don't watch other reality shows. But this is good and I love it. Hopefully they keep on going with this stuff, you know?
Yeah, it's a ratings juggernaut, so go keep going for it.
Hell yeah. Another thing is, do you think Raw will ever be on the network?
No.
You don't think so?
No. Not anytime soon.
But in the future there will be?
If the network gets enough traction, but I highly doubt it. Raw's not only their highest cable show, it's USA's.
But man, can you imagine? Oh, US would be so pissed if
Exactly.
They'd be so mad. Because what else they have on Mondays? Nothing really. Just other shows that people don't give a shit.
Right.
I mean, the wrestling fans, but I don't know. I just maybe it might happen, but I don't think it. Oh, speaking of moving, I guess there's rumors floating around that SmackDown might move to a different day. I guess back to Thursdays. Is that
Yep.
rumor? Or is that confirmed?
What's that?
Is that confirmed or a rumor?
It's been both.
But I heard they won't do nothing until January 2015 because all the football games will go around, so they won't make a big move, you know.
Yeah, I mean, they were. It was rumored. Then there was someone took a photo of one of the side production trucks and it
Yeah,
said
I saw that.
SmackDown now, and it's a new time or new day at
Yeah.
Thursday night. I don't think it's a bad call, but especially where SmackDown's kind of not really. See, when SmackDown debuted on Thursday nights, wasn't a bad idea.
No.
It was a different day. It was opposite of Nitro's or WCW's Thunder, which was on Wednesday nights at the time.
Oh, was it? Okay.
What's that?
It was. I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah, which is kind of ironic because now when I think about it, WCW and TNA are now on the same night. Yeah. Both in blue. Go figure. So they moved to Friday because what they were attempting to do was they were attempting to. I don't know if you know this, but the reason they launched SmackDown in the first place was because USA was on regular cable and they wanted to hit more of the basic cable audience.
Oh, okay.
That's why they were on two different networks.
And
UPN
I don't know why they can't go back to the old school channel like from the back in the day, but I guess they lost their contract, huh?
Was it that?
You know, the U or whatever that channel is called back in the day for SmackDown. What channel is that again?
UPN.
Yeah, there's no such thing as UPN anymore, is there?
Well, no, because UPN got sold out. And that's why they moved to CW temporarily because they merged. And then CW didn't want SmackDown, so they booted that too.
Oh, okay.
And the reason SmackDown is on Sci-Fi is because Sci-Fi is owned by NBC Universal.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Oh.
NBC Universal also owns, shocking, USA TV.
Oh.
Which is where it was.
Is it like a big old package?
Right, it's an umbrella.
Okay. But can you imagine, I know this sounds silly, that WWE would go to ESPN? That would never, ever happen. Never.
What's that?
WWE would never go to ESPN for SmackDown. Never.
No, because it's not sport.
No.
It's entertainment.
Yes. I mean, I like to see that happen, but but non-wrestling fans would be pretty pissed off.
Yeah. I think they would be kind of a little like, why are they doing that? But yeah, so as far as SmackDown moving around the nights, the reason they moved SmackDown to Fridays was because, as far as I understood it, they wanted to hit more of a child-teen demographic. Because if you think about it, it's easier to watch. It's easier for a kid to watch SmackDown on Friday nights than Thursday nights because they have school the next day on Friday.
That's true, yeah.
As opposed to Friday night into Saturday morning where they could stay up.
That's true. Let me see here. Another thing is, there's a lot of rumors going around that Christian might have one more run. Do you think he should get another run, or do he just hang it up and maybe possibly in the Hall of Fame?
I definitely think he could get one more run.
Okay.
Depends on what that run would be, and I think definitely eventually Christian should get into the Hall of Fame.
I mentioned this before. He's not good as a single. As a partner, tag team with Edge, you can put him as a partner like that. I mean, in the Hall of Fame, but as a single, I don't know. I'm kind of iffy in that. I'm scratching my head on that department, you know?
Well, I think, and I don't mean to be disrespectful to Christian, but I think that like Christian could, because remember when they do a Hall of Fame induction, they don't do just like all main eventers.
Yeah, that's true.
So I don't think Christian would be the headliner to be
No,
inducted
of course
in the Hall
not.
of Fame.
No, he'd be
But
like
he
the
could still be
the
inducted.
third or fourth guy, you know?
Yeah.
Or they could have to be like the all Canadian class. That'd be kind of neat if they could do that.
Now, that would be pretty cool.
Like him, Lance Storm, and I don't know who, is there any more ladies in the hall, not in the Hall of Fame. We all know that Trish in the Hall of Fame, right?
Yep.
Yeah, see, I don't know if there's any more, so I don't think China will ever be in the Hall of Fame because she's doing other things and she's not.
Jim Neidhart, Owen Hart.
Yeah, I don't think China will ever be in the Hall of Fame because she's in bad terms with W right now, right?
I never say never.
Yeah, because
it's funny. If there's anything I've learned from WWE, think about this. 2 years ago, right? If someone said, "Oh, hey," if you were to, 3 years ago, if you would ask me, would Bruno Sammartino ever be inducted in the Hall of Fame? No, because he doesn't want anything to do with WWE.
And boom, look what happened, huh?
Right. If you ask me, will Ultimate Warrior ever be inducted in the WWE? I'd say no. And look what happened. Would Sting ever be part of the WWE in any way, shape, or form? No.
Boom. Yep. And he will be in the Hall of Fame. I guarantee it this year around, WrestleMania 20.
I'll be shocked if they don't induct Sting. I'll be shocked.
I'd be pissed.
If they do not induct Sting.
Hey, all that stuff they doing, Comic Con and shirts, DVD, and nothing. Come on now, he deserves it. And I heard there's rumors that he might face Cena because Taker's her, or I don't care. At least I want to see Sting. I don't give a shit who he faces.
Yeah,
I heard he might face Bray Wyatt. I don't care. At least make it a good match.
I think Sting and Bray Wyatt would be the best right now.
So you think the Taker is on the back burner big time, huh?
I don't know. I mean, excuse me. From what I hear, he's physically fine.
Okay.
But I just don't know if he would have that last one in him. But we'll have to wait. Time will tell.
Yeah, it's only October. There's a lot of months, and time is ticking. But we'll find out. I hopefully, I want to see him one more. Last time I saw him was WrestleMania 26, and it was a good match against him and HBK career match. But I never saw Sting live. I got that DVD or Blu-ray. A lot of people shit on him, but what do you expect? See, if W was freaking smart, make the documentary, then have the matches. But they want to make some money, like they really need us making more money,
Well, one thing I think they did was they realized that Sting was a hot commodity, so they made his best of collection series.
Yeah.
I guarantee you that once, if everyone keeps saying what's going to happen is going to happen, what they would be smart to do would be have Sting inducted in the Hall of Fame, WrestleMania 31, have his match, and then do the documentary.
Yeah, put that Hall of Fame on the documentary, yes.
Because that would be the twist, and boom, you're done.
Yep, and that's it.
Yep.
I don't think if he wrestles, that'd be great. If he doesn't, then whatever. But I don't know. We'll see what happens. I guess they there's talks. I guess something's big gonna happen around the WrestleMania, the road to WrestleMania, maybe like the beginning of next year. So we gotta wait a while,
Well, usually, one thing I liked about WWE when they did WrestleMania 25 or 26 was they started to plant the seeds with a lot of these in December.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you go back, right? So WrestleMania 26 was featured the headline with Shawn Michaels, Undertaker 2, Jericho and Edge for the world title, and Batista and Cena.
Yeah.
Specifically, if you go back to the Slammies, that's when they plant the seeds for at least 2 of those matches.
Okay, good. Okay, and in the mid card, they could do that later, right? Usually.
Yeah, right. And the other stuff can fall into place. But what I would like to see more of from WWE is if they've already got their matches more or less locked or guaranteed, hopefully one way or the other.
Yeah. Another thing is, before we end this podcast, because we've been on it too long. Do you think Hogan will have a match against Cena? He wants a match against Cena so bad at Mania 31.
That's a tough one because there's a lot of different factors involved.
Yes.
Because, let me put it this way. From a history perspective, it would be fantastic. From a fan perspective on paper before you actually had the match, it would be fantastic because you see the person who carried the company, the face of the company from most of the 80s and a little bit of the 90s, from a guy who carried it on from the 2000s ish, mid 2000s on. So it's a dream match. However, I don't think it will happen because WWE is too cautious to let something happen to Hogan.
Oh yeah, and he has so many back surgeries. Why risk it? Why he might be paralyzed. You never know. But
when you have a wrestler who's on top of his game, and I mean Cena, whose two maneuvers both focus on the back. Think about it. The AA, you land on your back. The STF, you stretch out the back a little bit.
God, yeah.
Curve it. I doubt they would let that happen. What I would rather see, and what I've heard is, and this actually goes back to our Rusev conversation. A lot of people rumor that John Cena will face Rusev at WrestleMania 31.
Do you want to see a match, or does it really matter?
Well, I'll tell you why. I think if they really want to build up this monster heel, I would not be surprised if you see a confrontation between Hulk Hogan and Rusev.
Way before Mania or close to Mania?
No, right before.
Okay, it's gotta be on Raw probably to get more ratings, right?
Yep, and then that's when Cena steps in for Hogan, and then Hogan's in Cena's corner at WrestleMania.
Of course, Cena's gonna probably beat Russo most likely.
But the thing is, there's one little key factor that I didn't mention, and the reason I kind of make me scratch my head of maybe they do think about doing this. Have you noticed what colors currently Cena is wearing on his merchandise?
Gray and pink.
No, before that.
Oh, Hogan's colors.
Right.
Oh.
I don't think that's a coincidence.
Do you think, what are they trying to say? Hogan versus The Rock? Hogan versus Cena?
I don't know.
Or do you think it to be a tag team partner thing?
I think they were smart enough to put that two colors together for a reason. I don't know why, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm surprised that Michael Cole never mentioned it on his commentating.
What's that?
I'm surprised they don't mention it on the commentating booth.
Because they haven't put two and two together yet, or they don't want to mention that yet, or they want to make it as obvious.
Hey, listen to this. I'm on Twitter right now. It says The Rock's $5 million mansion in Beverly Hills. I don't know if you've seen it on Twitter, but it is crazy. Holy cow!
With what?
There's a picture. Someone posted on Twitter. I don't know how they found this. The Rock's $5 million mansion in the Beverly Hills, California.
Yeah, I saw that.
That is crazy. And I bet any money he's never there,
Mm-hmm.
That is insane. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Man. Speaking of that, did you see ever on Twitter the CM Punk's home inside?
No.
Wow, that is gorgeous. I don't know how people get these pictures and post them online. They must have, one of his buddies probably did it and posted. Holy shit, man. How can these people afford that shit, man? Speaking of Punk, I know I said I'm going to get off here, but do you think he's going to go TNA, or is that just another freaking rumor?
I think it's just another freaking rumor.
So,
because number one, Punk would not go.
Yeah.
If TNA were able to, I highly doubt TNA would be able to offer something enticing Punk enough to come back to wrestling when he was pretty adamant about the fact that he was never going to come back. But if TNA were to sign Punk successfully, I think it would help them on a lot of ways. I think it would save them.
Yeah, and he was there back in the day, but he was not big a star like he is now. Bigger star now.
Yeah, but it wasn't his priority.
Yeah, that's true.
So, anyway.
And I heard that AJ Lee is in trouble because they were chanting the CM Punk's name.
Yeah, I don't know.
But that's not her fault, so what?
I think that's just a vicious rumor.
Yeah, that's stupid. Why fire her? That's stupid. No. I wonder how she feels. Hey, honey, guess what? They say your name again. Say, I don't give a shit. I'm not coming back.
Yeah, exactly.
Hopefully one day she'll be part of Total Divas. Do you think she will?
I think it would be entertaining as hell.
Hell yeah. But I don't think they will film at home because Punk.
No. But anyway.
That would, that kind of sucked, but that'd be kind of neat if he's part of it, But I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Anywho.
I'm gonna let you go. Go ahead and plug the channel one more time before we end this podcast.
Alrighty, so of course, my name is Connor, aka OKFabe, and I do my YouTube channel at youtube.com/OKFabe, the number forever, because, there's not enough of me on the internet. Follow me on Twitter at OKFabe, and all those other social media links you can find between those two fun areas.
Yeah, all this information will be down below. The video I mentioned earlier in this podcast will be down below. Thank you very much, my friend. We gotta do this more often, but I know you have a crazy work schedule, my friend.
No freaking kidding. Apparently, for some reason, I'm in high demand. Like, I'm doing you. I've got you here. I'm working on another YouTube channel, and then I've got this one. It's just like.
Okay. You want to say goodbye to your viewers out there who is listening?
See you later, everybody.
Okay. This is the host of Most Team Alright, and thanks for listening. And I see you next episode of the Wrestling News. Good night, everyone. Have a great one.